Hi, I'm Dean DeMarzo.
And I'm Tori DeMarzo.
And this is Relatively in Tune, where we talk to creative people and the people close to them. Today, our guest is Lilli Doll. They're a singer, performer, owner of a small business as well, and was featured on this last season of The Voice. Why don't the two of you introduce yourselves?
Okay, hello. As I said, I am Lilli Doll. I'm currently a junior at Rider University. I'm studying musical theater and I'm getting a minor in music production. Third year at school, still trying to figure everything out and find my place and everything that I want to do creatively, but there's so many avenues that I'm exploring and continuing to explore and putting out my feelers for everything in this world. And this is my friend Hailey.
Hi, I'm Hailey. I am also a junior at Rider University, but I am studying technical theater for lighting and sound. Yeah, I love it.
And that's so cool. I didn't know you were also majoring in music production. I saw you were doing musical theater performances. You've done Rent, which is one of my favorite shows.
Yeah, I added that recently because, I'm only at school with access to everything that I want at my fingertips for so long. It's I might as well take advantage of this other program that we have and put it in. And if I don't finish the minor, whatever, I'll take the classes and hopefully gain some experience and connections and things and move on. But so far, so good. And I think I am going to finish with the degree, which is awesome. And I'm very excited about.
That's huge. What kind of stuff? I majored in music production, so I'm always interested in seeing what other schools are doing. What kind of stuff are you working on in that major?
This semester was a digital composition class working through Ableton. Right now, I'm working on making a remix of a song. That's our final project. And it's make 3 songs throughout the semester and then make a remix at the end in a final project. I also got to take a DJing class this semester, which was incredible and shifted my mindset on music so much. I was thinking about this before I got in here. I was like, what all have I learned from doing this and picked up? And I wasn't expecting to like DJing as much as I do. One of my housemates does it and he's really, really great at it. And he's also a fantastic tapper. So his understanding of rhythm and beats lives through his entire body and soul. And so when he started to explain how I need to listen to the music in order to be successful at it, it totally shifted my mindset on music. And now everything that I listen to is with a different lens. I just hear music differently now. And it's really, really awesome because I can feel it better than I ever have. So if anything, I've gained that from this minor, which is awesome.
Tell me what made you want to go on The Voice.
Yeah, kind of a why not mentality. I think I'm in the perfect position right now to just kind of take advantage of whatever I can. I'm only 21, so I'm still at the beginning of my career and figuring out everything that I want to do. And as the musical theater industry evolves and is turning more into that pop rock avenue, the more opportunities I've had to sing it. And I've realized that I'm kind of good at singing that and not just strictly musical theater tunes. And so I kept honing in on that. And I was like, you know what? Why not? It came up on my Instagram as an ad one day. And I was like, okay, I actually have nothing to lose. I did the audition from my dorm room. I wore my little tie skirt. They loved it. It's like, okay, I guess once again, there's nothing to lose by just trying things and putting myself out there as much as possible. Somehow worked out really well. Better than I thought that I would when I initially set up my camera to do it. So I'm very, very thankful for that.
We were talking to Darius J a few days ago about how his audition process went. And we were talking about how different it could be from one contestant to another. Mm-hmm. So you're saying that you did the video audition. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I think he said he was contacted from producers or something like that after submitting years and years of video audition. So it was so different to see different perspectives of people who've been on The Voice.
Yeah.
So what happens after you send the video? Did you get contacted to do another video or some other audition behind the scenes? Because I think American Idol's like that too.
Mm-hmm. So if they give you a timer, you have maybe 5 minutes to create a 90-second video. And it records it for you, and then it sends it out once you review it. So it's still timed in a sense. It's not a Zoom call or just a video audition. It's okay, here's your takes, and then you send it out. And then I believe I was contacted to submit more videos, trying really hard to dig back into my mind what this was. I think I might have sent them more videos, and then from that, there's an interview with casting. See how you respond to the camera and get to talk, see how well what else you have to offer, and then from there it's just a waiting game. Then you wait months to hear back, as I'm sure many people have talked to you about.
And then they contacted you and said, hey, you get to go on the final round for the blinds.
I mean, it's an extensive casting process where it's like anything can happen, but they let you know that you're in their roster and that they would like you to continue to participate. So from there, it's lots of info sessions and picking up as much information as you can. And then as it continues on, lots of meetings and then being contacted to continue out the process.
Something I noticed in the story you were telling, right from the beginning, you said, you wore the tie skirt you made in the audition video. I can already tell you're really aware of the things that are important outside of just the music, of like branding, that you are the person who brought a gift that you made to the judges. You are these other things around the music itself that helps people remember you, that are the cues when you come up in TikTok. Oh, right, that's that artist who did this. I remember now, and they keep watching.
Yeah, I think I've definitely tried to be aware of it. And I think it all stems from theater. I started doing princess parties where I'd like dress up as characters and go to birthday parties. So I started getting good at doing wigs from that. And now I work in carpentry at school where I'm building the sets. And it's like, how many little things can I add to my toolbox to be valuable outside of just being a performer? And then once I started bleeding into the music side of things, I think I took stuff from that. It's like, okay, how do you not just be another person that can sing well? Like, what else is interesting about me that I can offer to this industry that makes me more valuable to everybody around me? And I'm glad that people have started picking up on that.
Hailey, can you talk about your experience of seeing Lilli on The Voice on TV? Like, how was that for you?
For sure. So Lilli had told me about The Voice before anything. And we were both out on different summer adventures. And it was all very vaguely spoken about. But like, you kind of read between the lines. So what month were you on it? Like February? Mm-hmm. When February rolled around, everyone was freaking out. We all reserved a room in the school, played it on the big projector, and like had a party just to celebrate like one of our friends kind of doing something so incredible. My friend was on national television, and that is insane. So it was really awesome to like all be in one space and support our friend up on the screen. And regardless of the outcome, like it was screaming cheers in the room. It was so special.
That's so fun. I loved in college how like, anytime something big happened, we would all get a room and do something exciting about it. Like whether it's like, oh, this new movie's coming out, we all want to watch it, or like this new episode of this is coming out, let's all go into the common room and make a big thing out of it. I love that community that you get in college. And yeah, it's so fun.
Just being around a bunch of people who have the same interests. You're all in, similar majors, and you have so much in common. There is nothing like that time in your life.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and I mean, how special not only to have so much knowledge at your fingertips, but also these people and connections that you can reach out to at any point. I'm like, hey, can I walk to your house real quick? You want to write a song? I have a friend that lives right around the corner. I'm recording a song with him later this week, but it's like I put my guitar case on my back and I walk over to his house, and like, how long am I going to get to hold on to having all of these awesome people so close to me? So we certainly try to take advantage of it amidst the chaos of taking so many classes. Doing so much right now. I'm like, it's okay. It's worth it. I'm so busy, but it's worth it. And I love it. And I don't want to trade it for anything.
It's all for something good.
Yeah. Perspective is very important. I know.
The mindset is everything.
Mm-hmm.
And everything you're doing right now is going to serve something you want to do down the line in some way. When you said you're making, you're doing carpentry, you have a background in wig making and everything, my mind immediately jumps to like, okay, you can make your own music videos start to finish. Mm-hmm. You can build the set, you can do the costuming, you got everything down. And that is such a like incredible leg up on 99% of musicians who all they have is like their phone and that's it. You can do everything. That's incredible.
What are your goals for each of you outside college? What would you like to do next?
If you have any idea, I'll let you go.
People always ask me this, and I say that I want to do everything. I don't like to have a concentration in my major because I want to be able to pick up any job in the industry at any point. I am an electrician at the school, so I do a work study in the theater department, and that's like all the lights and such. But my concentration technically is in sound design. So like that is what I'm actually studying. And then I work at a theater camp over the summer where I do set design. I try to stay as balanced as possible. So like when I'm out of here, I can be like, oh yeah, I could do that for you. Like, yeah, I could do that. I want to be the guy that everyone's like, oh, like I know someone who could do that, and it's me.
I guess just being able to support myself by creating. And I've said that for a long time because so much of this is unpredictable. And it's like, if I've always said that my goal was Broadway, like not that it's too big of a goal to have, but I think at the core of it is just being able to support myself by creating whatever capacity that shows itself in. I don't necessarily mind because I've tried so hard to find so many avenues to be creative. Yeah, I think that's where it lives. Like, if someone would pay me for my art, I think that is ultimately the goal right now.
Is Broadway something that you really are considering?
I mean, I'm in school for musical theater, and like, absolutely, if I did an audition and that was a direction that I was able to go in, I would never say no. If I'm writing an album and that works out, I can't say no to that either. So
You could do both.
hopefully yeah, of course. I think that's ultimately the dream, is that I can just do a little bit of everything.
We just talked to Jordan Litz, who's the longest running Fiyero in Wicked. And he was talking about his experience of how he got there and how he worked at Disney World and did like a whole bunch of little,
He's in the
like,
Dapper Dance.
yeah, little productions like that. And it kind of reminded me of how you said, like, oh, I dressed up as a Disney princess for parties. Very similar avenue to get to the same potential goal one day. So
Yeah.
I feel like you're on the right track.
I think one of the best approach you can have is to be open to anything, to be able to do anything. Like you were saying, you want to be the person everyone goes to for anything.
Yep.
And then just be open to whatever opportunity comes your way. You can hone in on something like Broadway. You can hone in on a specific show even. And I hesitate to say, like, don't get too specific because you'll get disappointed. I don't want to say that.
I think it depends. If you're being a creative person, having a more open mind to things is definitely better than if you were going to be a doctor or a therapist. Obviously, a concentration is probably best. Otherwise, you're going to have a surgeon who doesn't know how to do everything. But creative wise, there shouldn't really be a box because I think you have to know a whole bunch of different parts, especially nowadays. They're asking one person to have multiple different job descriptions, wear multiple different hats. And I think the worst thing you could do is give yourself a concentration in school.
Yeah.
It's definitely changed over the years. And I think as long as you can wear as many different hats and learn as many different things.
Yeah, you're
definitely
100% on the right track. Speaking of wearing so many hats, I want to know about the crafts and the small business you're running.
It's something that came out of COVID, actually. My mom has always loved crystals and all of the spiritual things. So she kind of raised me on that and all the meanings of those things and like how that can influence your energy and that beautiful world. And she got a job at a crystal store. So suddenly I had access to rocks and I was like, I don't know what to do with my time. So I started a little business, and kind of in a similar vein of finding an avenue and finding a niche and working through it. That's kind of where like the lighter covers came from. Cause I was like, okay, anyone can make jewelry. Anyone can buy beads from the craft store and make a necklace. What is it specifically that I want to do that'll make me stand out in these shows and events that I go to sell my stuff? And somehow I got on the lighter cover track, and then lots of mushroom crystal pendants. And that kind of came from where I live too, because my parents took me foraging. I lived on a lot of property growing up, so we would always hunt for morel mushrooms in the spring. It's like, oh, I know what these look like, and this holds a special place in my heart, so let me create this off of things that I've experienced and seen and done and make some kind of fun memento that people can keep around with them. And then as I continued thrifting and finding clothes, I've always loved upcycling. There's a picture of me somewhere from my childhood with a jean jacket that I cut the arms off of and like sewed a big square of fabric on the back, and I was like, I'm an upcycler. This is my dream. This is my dream. I want to upcycle clothes and have fashion shows, and that's who I am and that's what I do, and that's how I started learning how to use a sewing machine. And I pick up inspiration where I go. I love to thrift, and if I find something cool, I'm like, cool, I'll put that in my back pocket and use it later. Which means that I'm acquiring a lot of things, and I don't know how I'm supposed to move out of this house that I live in next year when I graduate. But that's a story for another time.
Another year from now.
Yeah, I'll take my time. But yeah, I think it's just kind of having the business has allowed me to create whatever I want to create within that niche. I have those things, and then if I upcycle things, the ties that were featured on the show, that's been a recent development. It's like, okay, I'll add that to like this hodgepodge of things that I'm creating too. And if people like those, awesome. If not, I enjoyed making them. If I can get a few extra bucks off of it, beautiful. And now there's somebody out there wearing something that I created. And that's an awesome feeling.
Cool.
Where did you learn to do the whole tie thing? Because I love that, and I've seen it like here and there, and it's something that I definitely would want to learn how to do, especially thrifting for all of this stuff, like thrifting for fabric or materials. That's definitely a dream for me to do.
Mm-hmm. I went to an antique thrift store in Philadelphia, and I got one of those vases of jewelry, and I think that's where it started. because I was sifting through everything and I was like, what do I do with all these random knickknacks that I have? And somehow I was like, ooh, I'll just sew them all to a tie. And I did. And now, like, next to my desk, let me get in here. Like, I just have bags of jewelry that people are now giving me. And there's just so many things in here. People have found out that I'm doing this now and they're like, oh, I don't want this anymore. You take it. Like, okay, cool. So now I just have accumulated more stuff. And as I find time to put them on ties, I do. I've started doing more like concept designs. Now I found one recently that had flowers on it and I got Swarovski rhinestones and beads. So it looked like there was like water dripping off of the tie and there were beads dangling at the bottom. So now that I've kind of got a feel for what I want to do, I've been able to hone in on it and make it a little bit more specific. So it's not just random things on the ties every time. Yeah, I just think it's like, okay, let me accumulate things. And if an idea comes, awesome. And I have all the stuff that I want to do it.
That's so fun.
Are the two of you collaborating on anything creative right now, or have you in the past?
Kind of, but consistently.
The collage that you just did?
Oh, yeah. So me and Lily have this photo album on our phones called Girlhood. And any time that we are experiencing something and we're like, this is so girl, like we have to document this. We're like,
let's put it in the album.
Yeah. And I just recently took a gender studies elective. So I was like, well, my professor was like, you could do anything you want for the final. And I was like, I know exactly what I want to do. So I told her about this project that I was working on. She was like, I would love to see something like that. So me and Lily had like an extra little photo shoot because I am a photographer as well. So we took some pictures and Lily was like, well, what do you want me to do? I was like, I don't know, like look upset or I don't know, like do something.
Give me some emotions.
Yeah.
2 different emotions. Go.
Yeah, I was like, run through like a palette of emotions or something. And I got one that was like Lily like poking their face a little bit. And I was like, that's perfect. So I took that and then I printed out some of the other photos in our album. There was a picture of birth control, half empty. There was a picture of a tampon dispenser in the bathroom that was empty, hands. And then I found some stuff also online from vintage magazines and such about how makeup used to be more targeted towards for men, like women are wearing it for men. So I took some of those as well and I doodled on top of it. It's really cool. And I showed my class it and I was just kind of like pulling things out, being like, this could mean this, or you could take it this way or whatever. Got an A, so that's awesome. But it's really just about making something and having it be kind of a starting point. Because we had all these pictures on our phone and we were like, God, like, what are we going to do with all of these? We have it's not like we're opening an exhibit anytime soon. And I was like, you know what? Like, I think a collage would be perfect to kind of bring it all together into something. So having something to be a foundation for something that we can continuously add to is really awesome. Mm-hmm. Me and Lily always find a way to somehow collaborate on something.
And next year we'll be living in the same house, so I cannot wait for what'll happen. We're like under the same roof 24/7, so maybe there'll be more developments coming.
I loved that class. I took one very similar for communications, and it was really fascinating to watch all the different ways that women were portrayed. Especially, we did a lot of music studies about it too, and how in music videos there were women who like, had literally bologna and meat thrown at their bodies, and like we had to really analyze why this was happening, why the media thought this was a good idea. It's cool now that teachers are letting you kind of just take your own path and make your own final and interpret it your own way, because back when we were in school that was not a thing. I don't even know if we had a final project. It was very, you study what we want you to see. Mm-hmm. But I think it's really cool that they let you kind of just take off and really view it from your own perspective.
And also so difficult. I cannot imagine a harder assignment than do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Like, that is creatively a nightmare for me.
Well, after professors who are outside of the arts at our school find out that you're an arts major, it's kind of like,
you can do something cool with that.
Yeah, you're my girl this semester. And like they always be like, I know you have something to say, come on. And it's like, okay. But then like they hand you this assignment and it's kind of like, wait. You are expecting a lot of time and energy from me
that you aren't expecting from other people.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's also a chance to kind of show off a little and flourish in an environment that like you weren't meant to flourish in.
Yeah.
It's a good thing overall when they can expect more from you because they know you can do it. That's good.
It feels good.
It's a good place to be. And I could say my senior year, me and my best friend moved in together built a whole recording studio in the whole first floor of the house. It was
That's
just
us
the
next
most
year.
creative place.
We're doing
Yeah,
that in the
exactly.
basement. No one
That's
is
what I was
ready for
thinking. I
the
was like,
plans that we
that's-
have for this house.
Me and Facebook Marketplace are best friends with the XLR cords right now.
Yes. If you can make your own too, you solder them, you can get real high quality for.
I'll be looking that up later.
We're going to get into that. We have an extra bedroom upstairs that no one's living in. And it was a photography studio. And we're like, music, photography, sewing, all like the above. Our basement, we have big plans for this DJ board and hanging lights from the ceiling and asking faculty for extra lighting equipment that they don't use anymore to put down there so we can like have shows in the basement.
If you know anyone who has cheap DJ lights, I'll take them.
We'll keep an ear out.
Yes. That is incredible. And literally probably, like, I'm sure the classes you're taking are great. Those kind of things where you're building it yourself, you're doing it all yourself. That is where I learned the most at college, was just being around people and doing crazy projects.
And people are talking about how they have their little like get-togethers where people just come and perform or write music together. And you could totally do that in your basement next year. Just have people come, because that's where everyone is talking about getting
like
like
24-hour
ideas.
songwriting intensive. Everyone comes out of this with one song. You've got to deliver something by the end of it. I love like challenges like that.
Yeah, jotting it down now. Taking notes.
There you go. There you go.
And sometimes those are the most fulfilling events that you can come up with too, because obviously being a part of a production at school is beautiful. At some point I have to do that. I knew at some point during my college career I was going to be required to do something. Obviously in what capacity, you don't know. But being able to create outside of those things on your own time without as much supervision is sometimes more fulfilling.
The importance of being earnest.
We did a 24-hour production of The Importance of Being Earnest in a friend's basement last year, and that's like key memory in my head.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Wait, can you talk about that a little more?
Yeah, one of our friends who has graduated and living in DC now, wonderful director, genius, brilliant mind, was like, hey, can we do a 24-hour production of a play? So before winter break, it was cast and we had meetings with the director and we went through all the scenes, talked about the objectives and everything. So we had an idea of what we were going into it with, memorized our lines of our winter break. Week before we came back, all sat in the living room, basement, and over 24 hours, we rehearsed, directed, blocked everything.
And then performed.
Same 24 hours.
Yep.
We're like on a schedule. Okay, you're not being worked with right now. You can go ahead and take a nap. Go nap. Yeah. It was so much fun.
Wow.
That is incredible. And that speaks to something I think is really important. Working with a really short feedback loop when you can. Like if you do a semester-long production of Rent, you get one bit of feedback at the end of that, which is the performance week, you know? And you work for 6 months to get there. This, you worked for 24 hours and got immediate results. Now, maybe you're only getting 80% of the feedback and results you'd get from spending 6 months on it, but you can do that 10 times in a semester instead of once. And now you're getting better and better and better each time. And that's amazing.
That's a really fun idea. I don't think I've never heard of anyone
of a 24-hour
that.
production of a theater show. That's
really?
so cool.
There's someone popular in Philly, I think, too. One of our professors does them as well.
Wow.
That's so cool. I want to do that.
They should make a class like that.
Right? We're like, okay, our basement's open next year. What are we doing?
Oh,
yeah.
What are we doing?
Big plan. Rocky Horror, probably.
Oh, God. That's good. That's good.
Do it for Halloween.
Yep.
Exactly. Yes.
Shakespeare is free, so.
True.
Shakespeare is free.
Free
No
domain.
licensing fees on that.
Do you guys have any fun stories about your friendship, like how you met or something that's really sticking out in your mind?
We became best friends through an Instagram DM. I was like, oh, I really want to go to Target right now. I thought she was a musical theater major. I was like,
Everyone did.
Everyone
still thinks
still
I'm a
does.
major. People stop me all the time and are like, you did a great job in Showcase. I'm like, that wasn't me, though.
I didn't. I wasn't
in there.
part of that.
Anyway.
And now it's stuck. And it works really well having someone that is not a performance major as a best friend, because I love everybody that does this so deeply, but I also really value my space from it. And
sick of them. That's fine.
it's not everything internally all the time. I can't always talk about it. Like it cannot be my entire being, which I think also loops into why I like to do so many other things, because I think I would be exhausted if the only thing that I cared about all the time was theater. Like I just can't. So having someone that understands it is beautiful and perfect and amazing and is still creative and we can collaborate on other things, but also understands it because you're in close quarters with other people and lives with other people that perform. So it works very, very well.
Well, we have this bit all the time when we're driving around. Lily has like this radio microphone that like plugs into the car, and we'll just like yap full names
The
dropped.
James Corden carpool karaoke mic that my mom got me for Christmas. Echo is all the way up, volume all the way up.
Windows down. We're talking.
We're podcasting, airing out everything.
It's incredible.
Yeah, and we've been saying like, okay, when are we going to start a podcast? When are we going to have a radio show at school?
And right before we started this, we were both sat here in front of this camera with this microphone. And I was like,
wait, did we do it here?
Do
First
it.
episode.
Yeah.
Yeah,
do
like
it.
is this what we've been talking about for so long? Like even if we didn't continue to do it, like
what did we call it? It had a name.
yeah, that's over my head right now.
I don't remember, but since freshman year we've been doing that bit. And it's just a way that we can like yap about everything and have a little more fun doing it.
Yeah.
That's so fun.
That's perfect.
I would watch it.
Yeah.
We might have to. Got a nice, decent setup now. I just got a camera for my 21st birthday. That was in March. I was like, what do I want? What do I want? And I wanted a nice digital camera. Not only to like record things with, but also just to be able to capture photos with. And my mom visited me last week and we got my camera, which is what I'm recording on now. So I have my camera going instead of my computer camera. So I got my nice mic and like I could do whatever I want now.
What camera are you working with?
It's a Sony. I think it's specifically for content creation.
Sweet. Awesome.
You see videos on TikTok and it's like, what is capturing people's attention? Is it higher quality videos? Is it just a hook at the beginning of the video? There's so much science behind it that I'm trying to dig into and figure out now, and I'll be playing around with this for sure.
Awesome. I was going to ask, what would you say is next for you as an artist, as a performer? Do you have any recording stuff you're working on? Is there content you have in mind?
Yeah, I've been writing with one of my friends, Will, the friend that lives down the street. He has a band and likes to produce music on his own and is very much in like the punk and rock scene area and has played shows in New York, played multiple shows at the bitter end. And so we started trying to collaborate on things and work on things. And someone that's a music production major has just opened a studio at school. So on Tuesday, we're going to record there. And then I think for the summer, it's just going to be taking a step away from the crazy energy that is New Jersey. I started the Artist's Way recently, so just trying to like rewire my brain and hope more creative writing ideas will come to me and continue to write music, I think is the next step that I want to do. Because I've been performing long enough now. I want to start leaning more into the music world and seeing what's there for me. It's just not a muscle that I've exercised as much, so trusting my instincts and the things that I'm creating there has been a little difficult, honestly. So I'm trying to get rid of that and just create like I do with everything else.
What kind of things do you feel like you've been running up against? Is there anything you found while doing the Artist's Way? That's like a guided journaling situation, right? Cool.
Yeah, it's just about unlocking your mind's full potential and understanding that every single person on this earth is creative. You just have to be willing and open to tap into it and getting rid of all the negative things that your mind is trying to tell you, which is a lot of what I'm dealing with. It's like, I'll write something and I'll like it at first. And I'm like, but it's not good enough. And I just need to commit to writing things for the sake of writing them and not caring about getting them out there and caring about it being good or not, which I understand is part of the process. But it's just a lot of, someone's already done that, or, it's not that good. It's like, whatever. It's not the next best idea, and I need to get rid of it.
We were just talking to Will Leet, who is Sammy Rae's guitar player. He was saying the exact same thing, that his solution to creativity is just write bad songs. Just write as many bad songs as you can. Mm-hmm. I've heard it said as writing for the trash can. You literally just write with the expectation that this is going in the garbage. And it keeps the pipes moving and something good comes eventually. But you can't be an editor while you're also being a writer.
This is very true. I think that's kind of what the daily pages are. And I was talking to people while I was filming this summer. It's like when I was filming for The Voice, I was like, okay, so what do you guys do to be creating so often and creating music? And before I even knew about the Artist's Way, Fran had told me that she just writes and writes and writes and writes at the top of her day, anything and everything that is in her mind, and it clears out all of the extra junk in your mind so that you can just start focusing on being creative for the day. And also sometimes she'll find ideas in those pages. And that's kind of the journey that the Artist's Way is taking me on, and also just trying to hone into that. Like, it's okay if there's bad things in your mind, get them gone, and then see what you can do with what's left. So I think that's my journey for this summer.
I love it.
It's so nice to see how you guys are both so motivated to learn as many things as you possibly can and have that dedicated attitude towards your education. Can you kind of explain where that came from? It's just a question that I have personally, because I know that when I applied for school, I had no idea what I wanted to do. I didn't know what was a career. I didn't know anything. And I kind of didn't set myself up for the proper career that I wanted now. And I know that I didn't really have any background support from my family in that way. Did you guys have family members that supported your dreams or your talents prior to going to school? Or is it just something that you found within yourself?
I have had a lot of support, especially from my parents. And I've had the conversation before. It's like, Mom, if I wasn't good at this, would you tell me? And she's like, I wouldn't let you continue to go to school for this if I didn't actually think that there was something there. I wouldn't let you waste your time with it. There's too many people that want to do this. If I didn't think that there was something special and worth working towards, I would have been honest with you by now, but I don't think that at all. So like, let's figure this out. And I think wanting to go to school specifically for musical theater instills a lot of that drive, because like I auditioned and applied for 20 plus universities. And that's just the expectation, is that it is very, very competitive and hard to get into a program where my class is 30 people, I think. So like the class numbers are small, and 30 to 50 people is a lot for a musical theater program, because we want to keep them as small and as intimate as possible. So I think a lot of the drive comes from that, and just understanding that you are always going to be up against a lot of people. And the more that I'm hearing from people that are in New York and auditioning and trying to do this, like especially with social media now, it's accessible. And everyone thinks that they can do it. And everyone thinks that they have a shot because so much is at your fingertips on social media. Like everybody wants to be an influencer now, and everybody wants to create art because it sparks them joy. But if you aren't working hard enough to be the best at it that you can be, to compete with all those people, then it's not maybe going to work out the way that you want it to. So I think that's where a lot of my mind is. Really just trying to be the absolute best at this that I possibly can be, so that I am able to compete with this massive sea of people that are trying to do this right now. Because I even feel it in a program of people. Like there's 100 people all competing for the same shows. Not that it's as big of a deal because it's a school show, but you know, there's still like, you want to show up every day for yourself because no one's going to do that for you, especially in a performance-based major. Like if you don't put in the work, it's obvious. And that's embarrassing. Like you're here for one thing. We have to commit to showing up for ourselves and doing it, because that's the only way that I'm going to get better at something like this. Like I can't just do homework and take a test and then move on. Like it has to be a conscious effort all the time. And you?
I mean, my family has been my biggest support system forever. I like would not be who I am without them. I would not be where I am without them. Like genuinely, they have gotten me everything that I need right now, like emotionally, but also like meeting Lilli and like learning Lilli's mindset and everything. I was like, oh, like duh. Like, duh, I should want to learn everything. But my sophomore year, I came to Rider. I was a arts management major, which was not a good fit for me. That's just like, it wasn't what I wanted to do. And I wound up failing out of school because of it. And I failed out of school, and I saw the look on my parents' faces, and I was like, nope. I'm going to pull, never again, pull it together. Yeah, I'm going to pull it together. So I peeled it and I'm back in. And since then I have gotten A's, straight A's. So like, it really is all about mindset and how much you care about what you're doing, because I didn't like those classes that I was in. I didn't like that major. I didn't like how it made me feel. I didn't like it, period. But I was doing all these student-led productions, and I was like, oh, I could just do this. I love this. I'm good at this. Like, I could just put everything I have into this, and like having the people around me to do that. Like, even though I was an arts management major, all my friends were still performing majors. So like I was always surrounded by it, and like I didn't have the confidence or the drive to say at first, like, yeah, I want to do technical theater. I wanted to choose something a little safer. And then I figured, well, F that. Like, I'm not good at that. Why would I be doing that? So after I failed out, it was it lit a fire under me, you know? And since then, I haven't stopped moving. Haven't thought about stopping. I'm proud to say that I failed out. I'm not embarrassed about it.
That's amazing.
I mean, if there's anything that I could say that I've learned too, is that the safe choice is not the right choice to
Never.
make ever.
No.
If it's always going to be the one that's scary, the one that you're not sure about, but the one that you love.
And safety is over underestimated, I think. How many
Absolutely.
people with the safest jobs on earth got laid off in 2020, you know? I think it's the people who go for those crazy jobs everyone thinks no one can get, that they're the only people who can do that thing. They have the
Right.
best job
Passion.
security in the world.
You build the passion for it. Like, you went to school for music because you had a passion for it. And even though your family were like, well, maybe you should be a math teacher, maybe you should choose something more safe, but you had such a drive that you're like, no, I'm going to make this work as a career, even if it takes me 20 years to do it.
Yeah.
And I think
And it
that's, look at you. You went from not getting A's and almost failing out of school to now getting A's and loving what you do and having that drive. And I think it's so important to have that support group. And the fact that you met
Absolutely.
Lilli and everyone else in that whole community, I think was such a big part of that. And people underestimate how important having that community is, I think.
Absolutely. Yeah. And my family really has like carried me through that. My parents come to every show. They're front row of every audience.
I got a text from her mom yesterday. What part of the set did you build? I was like, okay.
And my mom is like at the show and she's like, oh, this guy was in this show that I saw and I liked him in that. And oh, I know her.
Wow,
And
this one is really good.
Yeah. Like they are genuinely incredible. So
Oh,
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
that makes me happy.
Is there anything coming up that you'd like to promote?
At this current moment, no. I'll be at a production at school next fall. I know that's coming up, but I think this summer is just going to be about taking a step back from the chaos that's here and hoping that next year I can come in and hit the ground running and have auditions and music to do, and just creating at home, I think, is my biggest goal.
Awesome. I hope we see some new music from you.
Absolutely. It'll be in the works. Yes.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you to Lilli and Hailey for hanging out with us here. This has been Relatively in Tune. I'm Dean DeMarzo.
And I'm Tori DeMarzo.
You can find us online at Relatively in Tune Pod. We'll put links to everyone's socials down below, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for listening.